Hello, my name is Katie Siegling and I'm an admissions counselor here at NC State. Thank you so much for joining us for our virtual information session for first-year students. To get started, we're going to go into some fast facts about the university. NC State is the largest university in North Carolina with over 27,000 undergraduate students. We're also a Tier 1 research institution and a Division I athletics school. I always like to say that NC State is a big school with big opportunities. But that being said, there's no lack of smaller community or support for our students, with things like our average class size being 35 students and our student-to-faculty ratio being 15:1. And these are statistics that we're very proud of for an institution of our size. Before going any further, it's important that we talk about our location. We're right in the heart of Raleigh, North Carolina, the capital of the state. It's amazing because students get our kind of classic college campus feel, but we're only about a mile down the road from downtown Raleigh, which gives students amazing access to internship opportunities, amazing restaurants, museums, concert venues, and more. Speaking of our campus, it's divided into 3 sections. We have our main campus, Centennial Campus, and Centennial Biomedical Campus. Our main campus is home to most student life. This is where our 19 residence halls are, as well as most of our main dining halls, one of our large libraries, our Tally Student Union, and our Wellness and Recreation Center. Centennial Campus is where we combine our academics, research, and industry partners. It's home to our College of Engineering and our Wilson College of Textiles, so if you're a student in one of those programs, you can expect to have a lot of your classes over there. There are also amazing state-of-the-art labs and academic facilities that all students have access to. One example of the facilities we have on Centennial is our James B. Hunt Library, which is our newer and more modern library with amazing alternative seating, media labs, as well as a book bot, which is our robot that can get your books for you. One other spot on Centennial is actually my favorite place on campus, and that's Lake Raleigh. It's an absolutely beautiful area with a lake and trails for walking, running, biking, disc golf, as well as paddle sports. So that's a great area on campus for students to get away and relax a little bit. And then lastly, we have Centennial Biomedical Campus, which is home to our veterinary school, which is a graduate program. We always like to brag on this a little bit because it's the number 5 vet school in the nation. Though it's a graduate program, if you're a student in a program like animal science, poultry science, or zoology, you may get the chance to go over there to shadow or do research at our vet hospital. Most other undergraduate students will get the chance to go to Centennial Biomedical for our sports games. So our football team plays at Carter Finley Stadium, and our men's basketball team plays at the Lenovo Center. All 3 of these parts of campus are very easily accessible from our Wolf Line bus system or by car. At NC State, our motto is think and do, and a big part of that for us is research. Like I said before, we are a Tier 1 research institution, meaning that all of our faculty members participate in research, and it's something students can get involved in as soon as their first year on campus. A big part of why research is so pinnacle to what we do is because of our proximity to Research Triangle Park, or RTP. This is the largest research park in the nation, and it's home to companies such as Cisco, SAS, IBM, Google, Epic Games, and more that love to give job, co-op, and internship opportunities to our students during and after their time at NC State. It's no surprise that NC State is consistently ranked one of the best schools in the region for undergraduate entrepreneurship, and we've had over 200 startups and spin-offs launched out of the university. Now, whether you're interested in studying entrepreneurship or anything else, we have amazing programs across the board for you to look into. We have over 100 majors and 120 minors, so no matter what you're interested in, there's definitely a program here for you. On this slide, you can see the top 10 majors that our students are enrolling in. And though NC State might be known as a large STEM institution, we have great programs in all different disciplines. You can see in that top 10 things like criminology, political science, psychology, and sports management. Also on this slide, we like to highlight our first-year programs, which we have 5 of. The 4 listed here, and then a new first-year environmental program. To describe what these programs are, I'll use an example to illustrate. So let's say you're a student who's interested in studying biomedical engineering. You would apply for NC State into that major, but you would be admitted as a first-year engineer with biomedical intent. Then, in that first-year program, you'll have the opportunity to take classes in every different concentration of engineering that we offer here. And at the end of your first year, you'll decide, do you want to continue with biomedical like you originally intended, or maybe you're interested in nuclear, chemical, or civil engineering? These programs give students the opportunity to explore all the different areas within their major of interest and make sure that the concentration they chose is the correct one for them. One other first-year program that we always like to highlight that's a little bit different is our Exploratory Studies program, which is NC State's version of Undecided. This allows students who know that they want an NC State degree, but not sure in just what yet, to have the chance to explore classes in all of our different colleges before deciding which track to pursue. This gives you a great opportunity to live with other students who are in that program, meet with an advisor monthly, and take all types of classes, and still be on track to graduate within 4 years. One other tool we have to help students figure out exactly what path is correct for them is a tool called Focus to Apply. And this is actually something that we are partnering with for students like you all who are prospective students at the university. What this is a set of free personality and career aptitude tests that can talk about what career options may be a good fit for you, and then what NC State degree paths can help you get to that career. Now, no matter what you study at NC State, we want to make sure that you're set up for professional success during and after your time here, which is why we have a plethora of professional development resources for students to utilize. The premier one would be our Career Development Center, which pretty much every student will spend some time in during their time at NC State. They have all types of resources, from resume writing workshops, one-on-one meetings with career counselors, a headshot photo booth, and even a professional clothing lending closet where students can borrow clothes if they need them for a job fair or an interview. In addition, the Career Center can help connect students with co-op and internship opportunities. Many of you might be familiar with internships, but co-ops are a little bit different, and we always like to highlight them in this presentation. What a co-op is a student will take an entire semester off of taking classes at NC State and get to work full-time in their area of interest. This is a great opportunity not only for them to gain great connections and experience within their field of interest, but also get paid. You can see on average our students are making $22 an hour during their co-op experiences, so it's something we really encourage students to look into during their time at NC State. If you don't want to go straight into a career, but you're more interested in going into graduate or professional school, we have support in place for that as well through our pre-professional advising program. What this is you can opt in to having an additional advisor on top of your academic advisor in your major, whose only job is making sure that you are a competitive applicant for the graduate school that you're hoping to go to after your time at NC State. They can help with all types of things, from helping give study resources for the LSAT or MCAT, looking over your application essays, or helping you practice interviews, as well as things like making sure you're taking all the correct prerequisites to be able to apply for those schools. So this is a really great resource if you know you want to pursue more education after your undergrad degree at NC State. And then lastly, we know that your time in college isn't just about what you're doing in the classroom, but also about how you pursue your interests and become a more well-rounded individual by pursuing your passions, which is why we encourage all students to take part in what we call high-impact experiences. A large example of this would be study abroad, which 1 in 5 students at NC State will participate in. You can do anything from a week at spring break to a semester, a summer, or even up to 2 full academic years in many different places. We have over 300 study abroad programs in over 80 countries. One premier example of this would be our NC State in Prague. That's our own campus in the Czech Republic that's all NC State facilities and all NC State faculty year-round, and it is an amazing experience for the students who choose to participate in it. Even if you don't want to leave Raleigh, there are plenty of opportunities for high-impact experiences right here on campus through our 700-plus student clubs and organizations. These can be pretty much anything. They can be interest-based, club sports, service-based, academic honor societies, you name it, we probably have it. And if we don't have it yet, you can be the student to come to campus and create that club. That 700-plus number grows every single year. And then lastly, if you're interested in Greek life, we have over 50 Greek organizations on campus. So if that's something you're interested in, there's that for you as well. So I know all of this sounds great and you're ready to apply today, but before that, we need to talk about how to have a complete application and then what will make you a competitive applicant. So to have a complete application, the first thing is that you're going to apply on either the Common App or the Coalition application. We don't have a preference, so whichever you're already using works for us. Then you'll send us an $85 application fee. And if you believe that you qualify for a fee waiver, just talk to your high school counselor and they will send us all the necessary paperwork. Next, we'll need your high school transcript sent to us directly from your school. And then, if you choose, you can submit your SAT or ACT test scores. I want to take a moment to talk about NC State's test optional policy because we know it's a little bit different everywhere and we want to make sure that we make it very clear. When we say that we are test optional, we truly mean test optional. If you have a test score that you're proud of, definitely send it to us and we'll be happy to look it over. But if you don't want to submit a test score, you will not be penalized by any means. NC State has been test optional the last few years, and we plan to continue to for the foreseeable future. So it's really a personal choice about whether you want to submit those scores to us or not. Now, let's talk about how to be a competitive applicant. I'll break down the different sections of the application and talk about what we're looking for in a great applicant to NC State. First and foremost is going to be your academic achievement. We want to see students who are getting mostly A's, maybe some B's, in the most challenging classes that their high school has to offer. We love to see students taking college-level courses such as AP, IB, or dual enrollment classes and doing really well in them. That shows us that when you come to NC State, you'll be set up for success in taking those college-level courses. Next is going to be your activities and involvement outside of the classroom. And this can be structured activities like doing school theater or doing a school sports team. But this can also be anything that you do outside of the classroom, whether it's a part-time job, a hobby, like maybe you learned to play guitar, maybe you taught yourself to build a computer. Those are all great things to include on your activities section. It can even be things you help out with at home, like taking care of a sick relative or helping watch your younger siblings. Anything that is taking time for you outside of the classroom, please include it on your activities section, because if you don't include it, we can't know this about you. And this is one of the best ways for us to read in between the lines and really get to know you as a student and a person and know what you'd be bringing to our campus. The next thing we look at is your background and opportunities. We understand that not every student at every high school in every state has the same things offered to them in terms of classes and extracurriculars. So we're going to be considering you in terms of the community that you're coming from and what opportunities you took advantage of. The next thing is going to be your major interest and preparation, and this is a really big part of the NC State application. The reason why this is so important to us is because NC State does direct admission into your major. Unlike most universities that will do a general admission, you will be directly admitted into your major, so it's important to us to see that you're already showing some interest in those majors you're applying into. When you apply to NC State, you will give us a first and second choice major. We'll first review you for that first choice major, and if we find that you're not quite competitive for that program, we will start from the top and review you for your second choice major. So make sure to put 2 majors that you're excited about and would be comfortable graduating in 4 years with. Now, the reason why I said that major interest and preparation is important is because you're going to go straight into your major. So we want to see you taking initiative and getting involved while in high school. And this can mean many different things. For example, let's say you're interested in political science. It'd be great to see someone who is involved in student government, maybe volunteered on local campaigns, or took classes like AP Government and Politics. Or, if you're interested in one of our very STEM-heavy majors, we want to see students who have already taken pre-calculus and maybe even calculus, as well as some higher-level science classes in order to be a competitive applicant for any of our STEM majors. And then the last thing is going to be your individual story. So that will be your personal statement essay as well as your supplemental essays. These are really important, so definitely don't count them out. For most of us, this is our favorite part of reading applications because it really helps us get to know you as a student and a person. What's not important is the subject you write about, but more what it tells us about you. So be creative, definitely hook us, and give us insight into anything else that we might not have gotten in the other areas of the application. So that's the application process, but we know that usually the next big question is going to be, how are we going to pay for it? And NC State is proud to say that we are one of the best schools in the state and country when it comes to financial aid as well as value for your money. That being said, we do have numerous scholarship opportunities that students can look into. And if you take one thing from this presentation, let it be these large words at the top of this screen: apply early action. Applying by our non-binding early action deadline will give you the best chance at scholarships and financial aid from NC State. On this slide, you can see we have 2 prestigious full-ride scholarships that early action applicants can be considered for, and that is our Goodnight and our Park scholarships. The Park Scholarship is awarded to 40 first-year students each year for students graduating from any U.S. high school and going into any major. The Goodnight Scholarship is given to 50 first-year students each year, and it's given to students from North Carolina going into a STEM or STEM-affiliated major. That being said, even if you don't apply to one of these 2 full-ride scholarships, we have a plethora of scholarship opportunities through our PAC Assist portal. When students are admitted, they will gain access to that portal and be able to be matched with scholarship opportunities that they are eligible for. The priority deadline for this PAC Assist portal is February 15th, so students who apply early action will get the first and best access to all of those scholarships on that portal. And then lastly, regardless of when you apply or what schools you apply to, we highly encourage all students to fill out the FAFSA to see if they qualify for federal financial aid for college. Even if you haven't committed to a school yet, we highly recommend that you make sure to turn that FAFSA form in by March 1st. The last thing we're going to go over today is some important dates and deadlines for your application process. Our first-year application process opens every year on August 1st. We have 2 different tracks that you can follow to apply to NC State as a first-year student. The first one is our early action track. So that would mean that you turn in a complete application by November 1st, and then you'll hear back from us by the end of January. Again, we highly recommend students apply early action. Not only will it give you the best chance for scholarships and financial aid, but certain majors, specifically design-based majors that require a portfolio, actually require for you to apply early action in order to be considered for the next academic year. Now, let's say you missed that November 1st deadline, but you end up really wanting to apply to NC State. No worries, because we do have our regular decision track. What that would mean is you would turn in a complete application by January 15th, and then you'd hear back from us by the end of March. No matter when you apply or when you hear back from us, students will have until May 1st, the universal confirmation deadline for students in the U.S., to let us know if you're coming to NC State, which of course we hope you will. I hope this has been informative. If you have any continual questions about NC State, please feel free to come visit us on campus, look around our websites, or contact our office, and we would be happy to assist you with anything that you need. Other than that, I hope you have a great day, and go Wolfpack!